The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Welcome to one more show of the table topics with me, and on the other side, right there at the Niagara neighborhood, is John.
Yeah.
Sylvia. Hello, John. Table topics today. Oh my God, we had so many topics to talk about in half an hour. I don't know where to start, but guess what? Go right ahead.
I'll just start with something real quick. It was kind of interesting. Over the last couple of days, there was a conversation about the COVID and here in Massachusetts, tables getting into a restaurant. So here in Massachusetts, Carlos, as you're aware, most places you got to make reservations in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Right. And, from there, they bring you to the table, you can take your mask off, but you have to have it on as you're going to your table. Now, if you have to go to the bathroom, God forbid, you need to put that mask back on. And then when you go back to your table again, you can take it off. In the state of Rhode Island, it's tiny bit different. They ask you for your name and your phone number, because if anything happens, they're going to call you back and tell you need to quarantine or whatever it is. So I think in this conversation, I think it was kind of presented like, what is the big deal about wearing a mask, right? What's the big deal? This virus is it's serious. So what I find in this conversation with this whole COVID or with this wearing of the mask, it always comes back, if you're questioning it, you're automatically like, why are you making a big deal about this? And what I find humorous is that basically nobody's making a big deal about it. What we're trying to put out there is that this does not make common sense. That's all people are airing. It doesn't make any common sense that you have to walk in there with a mask, but you can sit down at your table without a mask, and people are walking by your table. The waitress is coming to your table. But immediately it's like, this is not a conspiracy theory. This virus is real, and on and on and on. So,
and that happened to me.
Yeah,
I posted on Facebook.
Yeah,
the experience that I had. Now everybody jump on me, saying that this is the only way to stop the virus. I know, I agreed with you. Take it easy, I mean, don't put the thing on my neck yet. Don't kill me yet. Don't hang me yet. I agreed with you. I think we need to use the mask. I'm just saying is why some people are using and other people are not using, that people don't even bother.
Yeah.
So that was I came from. I know we have a virus. I know the virus is going to kill. I know that. I know I have to put a mask on. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem is, and I get the way I got it upset was because here I am talking to my wife. Okay, let's have breakfast, and we walk out of the car, and then that's it. Here's the sign. And come on, Carlos. Guess what? Just Friday, I had 3 or 4 old masks that I throw in the trash because I put myself a new mask on the car for that week, and I throw all the other masks on the trash because I haven't for 2 or 3 weeks. So guess what? Now it's me and her, and we have one mask. I didn't try to enter the restaurant or ask if I could sit down with other masks. I didn't even put my foot in the door. I just returned to my car, drive like 2 or 3 miles, came home, pick up another mask, went back. Until then, everything is fine. I'm trying to do my best, trying to follow the rules. I'm doing my best. Now, here's the thing. Where I entered the room, I could actually see my table right there. Was nobody at the restaurant. I'm the only one now entering the restaurant with my mask on, and she sits me on the first table. Great, great. As soon as I sit on my table and I want to ask for my meal, I put my mask down, so I'm talking to her and this and that. Fine. Comes the foods and everything. Now I'm about to leave. I'm about to pay for my bill. Here comes a couple with two kids. And they just went enter with no one has masks. They just entered the restaurant. They just passed by my table. They just went to sit on the other corner of the restaurant. And 2 minutes into that couple sit down, the kid start coughing. And he kept coughing. And he kept coughing. I don't know if it was something that he was trying to drink. You know how we have that cough sometimes goes on the wrong pipe. We say goes on the wrong pipe. And he keeps
Yeah.
coughing and coughing and coughing. I didn't make a big deal. Okay, I was on my way out anyway. But the problem is, more people was coming in with the masks on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, as long as I have no problem following the law. If they're telling me that I have to use the mask, I will use the mask. But if other people don't have the same common sense, and nobody's going to say anything, if it's good for them to walk without a mask, I didn't have a need to go all the way back to pick up a mask for myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I said, it creates a lot of problems for these restaurants because you know what? Are they going to start a fight with a customer that you need to put the mask on? So it puts them in a predicament. But again, I just found it amusing when I was reading about this with you, that this had happened and it's the immediate jump. And I don't know, maybe it was funny because.
No, and I have somebody that even complains, oh, you don't know if people have breathing problems. Hello? A couple with two kids, all four of them have breathing problems. I mean, if three of them have masks and one kid don't have a mask, I'm not stupid enough not to understand maybe the kid has breathing problems.
Yeah.
He could not use a mask. But come on, all the four of them, I guess it's genetic.
Yeah.
All four of them has breathing problems.
Well, this is what I enjoy with this is that when you bring this up, right? When we've had protests across this country for months now,
Mm-hmm.
all right? People wearing masks, not wearing masks. You've never heard in the news that anybody has been infected by COVID during these protests where there have been thousands upon thousands of people on top of each other, right? But then if someone goes into a restaurant and refuses to wear that, right? Or complains, like you said, look about this, you get jumped on. So we have these protest things that are taking place. Nobody says anything. However, if someone has a house party, they're getting arrested in different states for having a party with more than 10 people or whatever the total that you're supposed to have there. This is what I find. I find the absurdity and the lack of common sense. If we look at what's really going on, now, mark my words, this is going to happen, okay? There was a big bike run in Sturgis, South Dakota, which they have every year, okay? And they went there, the media went there and said, look at all these people without masks on, okay? Did they ever do that at any of these protests that have occurred across the country? No. Now, if one person comes up positive, you're going to hear this whole big thing. It's because of these selfish people in South Dakota, blah, 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 blah. This is what creates problems in the country with this. And when you get mixed signals, a lot of people don't take it seriously. And I think that's where the problem lies with this. If we actually look at the statistics as well, that it's like maybe 1 to 3% of the people that get it die in this country. We have just as many people. I think last year we had 100-something thousand people die of the flu. So we got to put this in perspective and we got to kind of, get back to reality. If not, where are we going to be? Are we all going to be sitting in our houses for the next 5 years until this just disappears, or we get a vaccine? And is everybody going to want to take the vaccine? Who's going to be the first guinea pig? So
Well,
I just wish that people would put this into perspective when somebody's given their side of their opinion on it, instead of harping on people. Like, listen, that's all I'm asking. And we don't do that anymore, unfortunately.
yeah. Well, another thing that I want to talk to you today is, for weeks we've been invited with posts on Facebook about Biden. Um, Starts with the pedophile that I don't know if any report of. With videos going all over Facebook that it's just taken out of context. Okay, because you need to remember one thing. He's a grandfather age. He's going to pay attention to kids. Yes, he's going to pay attention to kids. Okay, but then he's locked. He's locked on his basement. Then you don't know how to put the words together and all of that. But guess what? On the past 24 hours, it's not one complaint about Biden. Everybody is after his pick for VP. Now she's the problem. Now she has all the problems for VP. One thing I have to give to Biden, that Trump will never do it. He would never pick somebody that had go against him and had debate the way she debate Biden on the thing. So that I have to give it to him. You said what you said. It's done. I think you are the best person to lead with me. That I have to give it to him.
You done?
Judge.
You done?
Yes.
All right. First of all, don't believe everything.
Now throw the first stone. As you're not a Republican. You're not a Republican. You're independent like me.
Yeah,
but
no.
Every single Republican is being thrown stones and now looking back at the people that they supported.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I mean, basically, you can't believe everything you see on Facebook. That's number one. Number two, about those different things, there are pictures of him being very touchy-feely. Now, you can go look at two perspectives. Number one, that's how some people are, especially older people. That's how they are. They're very touchy. But we're in a new generation here where people don't like that. So, and then on the other hand, yeah, I mean, he's been caught on camera where he's kind of grabbing someone and they're like, because we're in this new generation. I don't take that necessarily as a bad thing because that's just how people are. We know people like that in the city that are very, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether it's a guy or a girl. That's how they are, So I don't take that. I think Kamala Harris is going to have a lot to answer for, personally. She's going to have a lot to answer for. She was the attorney general in California for years. She put a lot of people of color in jail for drug crimes. So she's going to have some stuff to answer for there. She's extremely liberal. She's from California. Years ago, I remember what used to happen is if you pick somebody from the North or California, a very liberal state, you always had someone to balance it, someone from the South. Because somebody from Massachusetts or California or New York, they don't think like people in the South. And you always had someone that would kind of bounce that off. It would be a Southern person and a Northern person. We don't really believe that anymore, apparently. So, yeah, I think she's very liberal. I think people really, when they vote, they need to realize that she's going to be the president probably in about a year. He's actually said it. I might not be around. So I've never heard a president say that in my life. That's insane, but I'm going to take him at his word. So if you're okay with someone from California that's extremely liberal, that got very offended about some of the things that Biden has said, and Biden has said some not too nice words, worse sometimes, I think, than Trump has said, and he has not been held accountable for it, which is, I find, very, very interesting. So she's going to have a lot to answer for as well with her record. She's been around. When any politician's been around for years, you got a record.
Every politician has skeletons on their closets, and every time they open their mouth, they lie.
Yeah,
So
I don't, Carlos, I don't think it's skeletons. These are things that are out there that this is what their record was, you know? So she's got a lot.
But here's the election we're going to have this year. It's an election. You either on this side or on this side.
Yeah.
No middle side in here.
Well, because you only have
whoever you're gonna pick, you're either gonna go to that side or not vote.
Well, I mean, I feel that, you know what I mean? That's, when we're a two-party system, that's what's going to happen. Do you find it interesting that some of the media is saying, why are we having debates anymore? Joe Biden should even debate Trump because he's only going to tell lies. Have you ever heard of anything so absurd that you're running for president and you don't think you should have debates? Why would they not want to have debates? Why?
Well, for us to have somebody debating and not stick to the issues and even going after the interviewer, especially if it's a woman that he has no business to tell her what he said to a few of them, okay? I think might as well not have a conversation. If you want to have a conversation that you cannot have a conversation, you're just going to yell to each other or something. Do you want to have that conversation? You're just going to pass it. So no, I cannot have a conversation with him because what he does is calls me names, screams at me, don't let me talk. So why I'm going to have a discussion with him?
Carlos.
I think you will do the same.
Carlos, this guy's going to be working with leaders all around the world. You don't think some of these people scream at you? That is a cop-out. And I'm not saying that personally. That's just what you think it might be. That's ridiculous. I've never heard of, if you can't stand up and debate someone, how do I expect you're going to do a good job as president? That's just absurd.
And he shows what he has to give. The way he talks to the people, it's the way he talks to the leaders.
Yeah. I'm talking about.
Well, Biden. I'm talking about the president.
Well, I'm talking about Biden. Biden's the one that says he doesn't want to debate. Well, his people
are saying,
why should he debate? So my thing is, like what I was getting at, is that if you don't want to debate Donald Trump, there are many world leaders that are not going to be pussyfooting around, and they're going to go right after you. So if you can't deal with someone in your own country, I don't think you should be running for president then if you're going to be dealing with all these countries around the world. You know what I mean? So
I mean, could be me, but I cannot picture another leader that we get along with that's gonna talk the way the president talks. Okay. Now, if it's somebody that we really don't care about, yes, it's going to be all over the place.
I mean, all the leaders, anything that's been said about these leaders, the European Union, number one, has taken advantage of us. We are supporting the European Union with the military. Specifically, Germany doesn't pay their own fair share. And the president's been knocked around for in telling them they need to pay their fair share. And he's been told that he's not nice. And the Europeans love Obama a lot better. Well, Obama didn't make them pay. So, you know, if I'm working for you, or, you know, I'm giving you rent and this one doesn't charge me, you do, of course I'm not going to like you, Carlos. Of course. So, I mean, you know, we got to look at it that way. China, you know, look at Vice President Biden. He said China's not a risk to us. They're not even a problem to us. We got this virus from China, right? They pretty much took most of our jobs, went overseas to China. So I don't know how we can say that China's not anything to worry about. It's insanity to me. You know, we need somebody in there that's going to finally stick up for the American people, through this policy overseas, because people will take advantage of you. I don't know if you remember, Carlos, years back, thinking, who the heck did this trade policy or debated this trade policy, because it's insane. It's not helping the American people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't have a problem with the way the president talks to foreign leaders, because you know what? We were getting hammered by a lot of these countries. Hammered.
Well,
they were taking our jobs away.
And here's the thing. We are where we are, and he acts the way he acts because he has people that have no problem with him doing what he does and saying what he says. That's why we have him acting the way he acts. None other presidents before him, okay, people like it if they talk out of line. But everybody likes this one does and supports him for doing, and he's going to keep doing it until he gets out of there. That's the way it is.
So, Carlos, you want somebody to be sweet talking to these leaders, and they eat our lunch, they take advantage of us. That's okay. I don't care how a world leader is. If you're taking advantage of this country and these trade deals, I have an issue with that. So if you're taking advantage of me, I'm going to give it back to you. Being nice and sweet and all this stuff didn't help us. You know what I mean?
John, the end of the day, they know they're going to be there for 4 years. They're going to scream to who they want. They're going to make the deals with what they want because they know in 4 years, okay, after that, that's money on their pocket. Doesn't matter who's there. Doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, whoever's there. He's going to use the 4 years that he's there, okay, to push sardines to their fire, because they know it's only 4 or 8 years they're there. And then why you think Obama became rich after 8 years there? Okay,
Wow.
why you think Clinton became rich after 8 years, even happening what happening? Because when they there, they take the advantage and they plan everything, so when they come on the other side of the fence, they can become rich. So
I agree. But what I'm trying to get at, Carlos, so I agree with you. In the end, it's probably the same. However, I'd rather have someone be in my face telling me how it is than sweet talking me and getting no results. You know what I mean? And that's what I find. All these leaders in the past they sunk us with taking our jobs to either Mexico, South America, specifically China, and we did nothing at all. We just bowed down to them. We let it happen. And as a result, what's happened is our money has lost value. Everybody thinks it's great. Yeah, you buy this stuff from Walmart. It's cheap. It's from China, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last but a year or two. And then there you are again, buying it again.
No, I agree. Anything that we can do to bring the jobs back here. Okay, we are the ones with the money. So we should be paying our people to do what we need to buy.
Exactly.
Totally agreed with you.
But that's not gonna happen talking nice to China and saying they're not a threat to us. That's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen. All you hear now, too, just one last thing, and you can go on to the next topic. All we hear right now is it's still Russia. What has Russia done? What has Russia done? They're interfering in the elections. China knew about this virus, let it leak out, let people go into Europe, into America, knowing that they had an issue with it. I would think China's more of a threat than Russia. But, if you listen to the media, forget it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all Russia. It's they're coming after us. They're stealing the election. It's just absurd. But anyway, I know you agree.
We're going to have a lot of talk about this because really now starts the real talk about the new president.
Yeah.
But before we go, let me see. We have about 5 minutes. Okay. I'm going to just talk to you about something that I got. I got an email and pictures from one merchants on Pleasant Street. I don't know what's going on, but now if you have a vacancy building on Pleasant Street, you're going to get a $500 ticket, and if it's not paid, you're going to have the penalty. It's $300 a day.
What is that?
So I mean, that's what makes me confused is if I have an abandoned building on Pleasant Street that I just didn't care for the past 10 years, okay? I don't pay tax. It's total abandoned, okay? You think I'm going to pay $500 just because I have an empty store on Pleasant Street?
If the person's not paying taxes, why aren't they taking that property? I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. It's so many ways to resolve the problem. Add another $500 plus the $300 a day. It's not going to resolve the problem. You're just going to try. You're just going to try raise money where the money is not there. Okay, so you can show in your budget that you have $1 million that you're going to collect from front stores that it's not rented. Okay, when the money's not there, was never there, and will never be there.
Yeah.
So we have a problem, and on top of that, okay, we have a merchants association that again, then even got an email. Not even got an email saying we are going this way. We're going to do this. Okay, so now I have a member that was on vacation, comes back, shows me a bill for $500 with a $300 penalty by day if you don't pay on the first 10 days. And he said, well, to start, I'm already 3 days late because I was on vacation. Okay. And number two, how they know that my building is empty? I mean, I have people on the second floor. I have the sign for rent on the first floor. Okay. Why I'm getting a bill?
Yeah.
I pay my tax. Well, my tax it's on time. I pay everything. So what's going on in here?
So I don't understand. All right, I understand they want to try to bring business into these vacant stores, but I don't really think that's the way to do that. To bring somebody, you know what I mean? Like find them until they can find a tenant. I don't understand.
I mean, and again, they call me. And now I have no idea what they're talking about. I never heard about this. I even asked them, it's an ordinance for that? If it's an ordinance, what the hell happened for the past 10 years? This building's been abandoned.
Well, if
it's an ordinance, shame on them not been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's an ordinance, they really should have notified people before you start finding people. That's just crazy.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. I have a call to the city council. I have a call to the city clerks. I have a call to the building inspectors. So I want to know what's going on because I have no idea. So I will let you know next week.
Yeah, good. Sheesh. Always something, eh? Hey,
always something. Okay, my friend, was a nice show. Be safe.
Yep.
Use your mask when you go out. Make sure you have enough masks on your car for all the people, everybody that you have on the car. What else you going to waste gas and time?
And get frustrated, eh?
And get frustrated. And I see you next week. And please don't post things on Facebook if you don't have time to answer back.
Oh, I did answer back.
I know you did.
I did answer. Nobody responded to me. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe I quieted them down. That's unusual.
I think you did your job.
Carlos, I'm trying to help you here, man. You know what I mean?
I know you are. You're a good friend.
Yeah.
That's why you're independent like me.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Take care. See you later now.
Yeah, bye.